Testing. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of All Bass Creations Effects, Tutorials, Demos, and Review. Sorry about that little delay there. Sorry about that, but I definitely appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's get back to it. So, let's jump right into it. We got the new Tonex 1 packs up today. We got a few of them, but these will be released in a few hours. So I thought I'd come on here and show you guys a little bit of what we got going on. So in the beginning, heard my bass dry. We actually gonna add a little body to that with the bass knob. So this is a little bit more of that bass through there. Here we go. What's going on? Yeah, so definitely appreciate you chiming in. So, you know, that's my dry bass sound. We kick on the Colour Box plus the Ampeg SGT, and we get a nice, some nice clarity in there. Oh yeah, I can definitely play that for you, but you know, all song requests are $300. So if you put that in the Cash App, Super Chat, I'll learn that for sure. Spend my day learning that, and then I'll come up with an arrangement for it and give it to you. But other than that, we talking about the Tonex 1 pedal. Sorry. So that's the first and one of the Ampeg. And so basically all these presets you're hearing are combinations of the Colour Box and so this pedal here where I'm talking through, running into various pedals like the Ampeg SGT and also the Aguilar AG preamp, the Jens Band Shuttle 9. We also have the Gensler Magellan preamp and what else we got over there? Oh, we got the Eden WTDI. So the Colour Box in combination with each of those preamps. So basically a nice studio preamp and the Colour Box, that nice firm saturation that the Colour Box gives you, along with the characteristics that the bass preamps give you. You know, because Ampeg preamp sounds different than a Eden preamp or a Gensler preamp. So they all have their own signature sound. So pretty much what I'm doing is putting those signature sounds into packs. What's going on, folks? Definitely appreciate you chiming in. Well, I don't particularly, you know, I'm recommending you guys grab. I actually have the Laney Digbeth preamp is good. I actually have a. If you get a Tonex, I have a Laney Digbeth preamp pack preset pack for the Tonex series pedals and software. So you can check that out on my Patreon. But why buy the preamps when you can just get a Tonex one, buy the preset packs, and have access to a bunch of different preamps versus just getting that one preamp. And this is without the IR. I am including the IR with these preamps, or with these tone models. I'm including IR. So this is just the actual tone model, no IRs or impulse responses on them. So if we run these through the impulse responses that are included, I did include one impulse response. I did include one, which is of a Fender Bassman Neo 115, which is mic'd up with a condenser mic and a SM57. So let's get this popping here. With the IR. And thanks to something like the Mercury X, let's throw that in a room. We're going to throw that in a room real quick. And of course, you have this on the Tonex. I just prefer the Mercury X's. Reverbs, of course. Let's see what we got on here. Put a nice room on that. I think I'll just make one real quick. But of course, this Tonex pedal also has that already in it. Let's just go ahead and go with a little bit of that. Just a little bit. I need to get somewhere to store a second version. Let's store this. 84. see the, and I want this to be, number 2. Let's see where we at. 2. I'll go correct that later. But so pretty much the goal here is to have very, very good amp models type thing going on. So, but I don't want too much color in either. So let's see. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. And we'll create a nice room. Let's see, we got this attached to. Bam. Attached to the lids. And see here you got so even all within there you can have it sounding like it's in a room or not. But either way you're getting that nice bass amp coloring without it being too intense there. I think that's the real key. Just having it so it's not so yeah, see that's a nice bass amp sound. Cabinet sound. So that IR is included with all the presets. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already, by the way. So this one is the Eden. So the Colour Box V2 with the Eden WT DI. So these are kind of designed where you can either choose to, you know, if your bass, these particular presets, the ones that have clarity in the name, they will allow, basically, they will give you a lot more clarity to your bass sound itself. So let me get rid of this cab real quick. So I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, I just have the IRs turned off. But when they're turned on, you know, I did include, you know, a complimentary IR that the main IR I use for everything, really. And I think it sounds pretty good. I made it myself. It's the cabinet's right here, underneath this Harkey cabinet. And it's my favorite overall bass tone from my cabinet. So I'm glad I was able to learn how to create impulse responses for you guys too. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Well, there's a MXR bass synth right here, and I already did videos on it and everything. So, you know, but I probably won't be trying that Keeley synth one. That doesn't really interest me, and it doesn't really sound good in any video. So I'm not going fool with it. But here's the MXR bass synth. You got the Future Impact V4 VIP. This is the best vintage bass synth you're going to get right here. This and this are nowhere near. This can replace a keyboard. This is a nice bass effect pedal. So two different things. So there we go. We got rid of that. All right. So again, this is my bass. Let me get a nice bass tone the way I like it. So you see how you hear a lot of times basses or sound like that when you're just getting into it. Oh, and by the way, I didn't say that to insult the MXR bass synth. I wasn't saying that. This is a good bass pedal. Like, I have it for a reason. You know, it wouldn't have made the pedal board if it wasn't a good pedal. So don't get me wrong. It's a great bass. You know, something to play around with. You know what I'm saying? But if you want a serious bass synth sound that you can take anywhere, including on the road, and play with any artist and all that good stuff, a vintage Moog, ARP 2600, all them vintage, the actual sounds like the Michael Jackson stuff, and this is going to have you spot on. This is going to get you something that sounds like a toy version of that. But you can get, if you don't use this like that, trying to recreate stuff, and just use this MXR bass synth for what it is, you'll get a lot more out of it. So that's a little bass tip for today. But yeah, let's go on to see how turn that on. Now you got a lot of clarity in there versus before. And even doing things like having the clarity, you know, to play chordal stuff. Without it, two different sounds, like. Right? Not a bad sound. Especially for you passive users, that'll definitely give you a nice nice bass tone, like, and have it cut through a lot more So the clarity settings are not just good, they're good for everything, all types of bass sounds, you know, including synth bass sounds. If you wanted to add some clarity to those, you know, a lot of times you'll get, let's take the Future Impact sound like this is. So let me see where we at. Right? You kick on that preset. Now you're gonna cut through. It's gonna cut, you know. So that's what the clarity settings are for. If you're having trouble cutting through in the mix, especially coming through a bass amp, you know, a lot of times when you're listening to things DI, like that's a DI sound, you know, line out basically. So just the Colour Box V2 running into an Ampeg SGT, and then that's the sound you're actually hearing. That, you know, EQ sound. But, you know, and it might even seem bright. Right? It might seem really bright, but by the time you run that through a bass cabinet or an RR, come on, yep, there we go, bam. So even with the cabinet simulation on, it's still going to be able to cut through. And you'd be surprised, that's perfect for a sound engineer because they won't have all the extra bass and stuff. They're going to EQ out anyway, you know, a lot of the times. And if they need more body to it, I just want to hear that run through. Got this hooked up. Let me see. This is, I'm going to run it through an actual cab real quick in the room. So even when you run it through an actual cabinet, it's going to allow you to cut. And mind you, this is the mic I'm talking through. This ain't like, let me just point it that way a little bit. Colour Box plus Aguilar. So yeah, pretty much all these sounds you can easily have that cutting sound, you know, and that's the hard part. Mind you, I have some of my other EQ curves I use, but that was one of the main ones that I wanted to make sure that you guys kind of got a glimpse of. And I have some other ones too. Let me see, where is it? This is the Colour Box into the Gensler Magellan. So even when you got it scooped, like I got this scooped a lot, you still getting, your harmonics are still cutting through. Even if I cut my bass all the way, the mids all the way, low mids, that's what the low mids cut all the way on my bass. So just for reference, this is my bass by itself. And that's what a lot of basses sound like. Something real, you know, bottom heavy like that. Which does sound good by itself. But, you know, when you start adding in things like the Colour Box for firmness and the Gensler Magellan smoothness to its EQ curves, this gain a little bit. And that's with none of the curve or couture A or B on the Gensler. You know, by the time you're running that through, there's just so much clarity there. You know what I'm saying? You run that through an IR or cabinet simulation. That's all the IR really is. So, you know, with the IRs, it really does give you with the IR that's included with these packs, it multiplies all the presets to a certain extent. You get the DI version or the line out, not even DI because I didn't use DI, I used the direct line out. I didn't want any coloring from the mixing board. So I went from directly from the Colour Box to the, in this case, Gensler Magellan, and then from the preamp out of there to the line input on the mixer. And then, voila. Appreciate you chiming in. Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Now with these presets, I didn't focus on. I didn't. Well, I didn't. I did adjustments to the compressors and reverb and delay and modulations, but I didn't create these preset packs to be your effects pack for the Tonex. This is more so getting you these different tone models and, you know, along with a nice IR, basically getting you a bunch of different bass amp combinations. Because think about this, in order to get a color box, that's $450. A Gensler Magellan, that's like $300. So you're already up $750. Then to get a Fender Bassman Neo 115 plus the mics, you know, you already well over $1,500 just trying to just get in that sound itself. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love the Tonex stuff, because it allows you guys that, you know, you may not be making a whole bunch of money from music yet, but you really want to have the pro style tones, and you want to be able to explore preamps. The Tonex series pedals and software are perfect for that. Not only that, the same preamps and stuff that I'm, you know, these preamp packs are available. When you get a Tonex one, you'll also get the other 4 pieces of software that come with it, including the plugin. So these same presets you can use on your recordings. You can use them live, all of that stuff. So it's not like you have to choose for one or the other. And like I said, you'll have the DI version of it and the IR. To get you that real amp in the room sound versus a direct sound. So you got options there. But let's move on, because we got other things, and that's the Color Box plus the Eden World Tour DI. Let's get to, this is the Color Box by itself. This tone model is called Big Bass. So as you can hear, the Color Box has a nice firmness to it without getting color in your tone too much. This is my bass without it. Oh, sorry. All right, with it. So even with just the Color Box preset, let me see what else we got. This is the Shuttle Gensler, the Colour Box V2 running into the Gens-Benz Shuttle 9.0, which is a tube preamp. See what we got here. Yeah, congratulations on your new pedal. Enjoy it. That's such a big sound. Cool thing about this preamp here, the Color Box and the actual Gens-Benz Shuttle 9.0 you know, can contribute to the saturation. So if I come up here and take some gain, now I can overdrive that same sound. And that's all because the color box there, I had it right to where, you know, a little bit before it would break up in terms of the gain on there, as well as I did the same thing for the Jens Benz Shuttle 9.0 with the same preset. You know what I'm saying, in EQ curve there. So what it did was it allowed it to allow me to have louder. I can clean that up a lot. Or I can get gritty with it. You know, and really add some nice saturation to it there. So, and that's all within the same tone model. Not to mention, again, you still, with all of these, you'll still get the Fender Bassman Neo 115. You know what I'm saying? That's their Pro series of cabinets. You're getting that, you know, with a condenser mic on the woofer and a SM57 on the actual tweeter. So that's another reason why the IR gives you nice clarity. But yeah, I absolutely love the. Okay, that one I forgot to add it to that one. Oh, I didn't add it on purpose for a reason. So, you know, it's pretty much the same IR on all the presets at the moment. Well, that's pretty much how it's going to be because, you know, it's a free IR. So, you know, you can use it or not use it. But the main thing, the main expensive thing in the preset packs is the preamps. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main tone. You can use that same, all these different preamps, tones with different cabinet simulations. Like when you get amplitude, you'll get a bunch of different cabs and stuff like that in there because they're going to give you, this is the cool thing about the Tonex stuff. When you get it, you're not just getting the pedal and the amps that are on the pedal. You're getting pretty much unlimited amp models from the Tone Net, from creators like myself. You got our own personal preset packs and all that. Give me 1 second, folks. So let's take a look at some of these other ones I got here, because I got quite a few. Let's take a look at some of these Ampeg ones. Got the B15 on deck. And I did create these so you can use your bass knob to really add weight. like more like almost like the full range of your bass knob. So this is my bass flat. Like here. Take it out. With the preset on. If I turn up my bass knob, now I got so I pretty much use these presets not to necessarily give you more bottoming, but to give you more clarity with it so you can cut more, and then you can kind of gauge your weight with your bass knob, you know, on your bass if you're using that. Appreciate you chiming in. The usual suspects starting to pop in. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like button and the reaction buttons. You'd be surprised how much hitting that reaction button helps me out. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Shout out to The World Needs a Hero for subscribing. Appreciate you. Feel free to super chat, cash app, all that good stuff, folks. Oh, Happy New Year to everybody that is, you know what I'm saying, is up on that. So that's the color box into an Ampeg SGT with the B15 circuit on. You feel me? I like this for like walking bass lines. So, you know, that B15, of course, is that famous Motown type sound as well. And of course, you can always add some gain to that. So you can even get that extra saturation out of it that way with that particular preset. And we have the SVT side of that as well. So you got all that there, you know. And of course you can, same thing. So you can really push these with a lot, you know. Thank you, I appreciate that. Oh yeah, a lot of it grooving is just relaxing and picking a tempo. If you're playing by yourself, like I was just doing, you know, I pick a certain tempo even before I start grooving. But you pretty much, you know, practicing with a metronome helps a lot with your groove and with your timing, because when you don't have it, it's naturally ingrained in you, especially if you tap your foot or stomp your foot. I like to get a nice little stomp going with my leg. You know what I'm saying? When I'm really on it, you know. But yeah. So with these different packs, especially like the Ampeg one, you're getting basically 4 different combinations of, you know, the color box and preamp sounds, because you got the color box and the Ampeg SGT with just the regular preamp. Then you got the, well, it's 4. Let's say, I mean 3. It should be 3. So Ampeg color box, Ampeg SGT, color box, Ampeg SGT with the B15 circuit, and then color box with the Ampeg SGT with the SVT circuit. So all those, and it's variations of all these. So it's not just these ones that you're hearing. You know, you'll have some the ones I call Negus EQ have my like my full body EQ, you know what I'm saying, that I use when I'm on stage a lot. And then you'll have the ones that say clarity, which is more so the ones that are going to not necessarily add any bass to your sound, but they're going to add a lot of saturation, and not saturation in the way of distorting the sound, but just coloring the sound from like the different brands. Every brand got its own sound. You know, the color box it has its own sound, but it's like more of a clear, firm sound. And I pretty much took that and added that with, for instance, the Ampeg signature sound. You know what I'm saying? But with just the clarity of, and you know, in the mid range and that the higher frequencies, you know. So that's one of the benefits, you know. You don't think you'll need it till you do. And I guarantee those will come in handy for a lot of people. So let's see what else we got here. So this is the same thing, color box with the Ampeg SGT, but this is one of the Negus EQ style settings. Without it. With it. So yeah, they add, like I said, that's my bass by itself. With it, really gives you a nice, if you have a more of a mid-rangey bass, my bass cuts through a lot in certain times when I need it to like be a little wider. So those are, so basically what I'm giving you is two different EQ curves that really help me pretty much in any situation. Really, one of the other of these EQ curves will get you by pretty much wherever you at. You know what I'm saying? The way I have it EQ, because it's coloring it. But it's not coloring it to the point where it's unrecognizable. It's adding a little bit of weight to the sound while taming certain things, compared to this one, the clarity. That's my bass, clarity. Right, so it even allows, the clarity one allows you to scoop your bass more, use your bass frequency knob a little bit more. Because even at the middle, I'm right here at the middle, right? But add some of that thing in there. And I got all that control from my bass because the EQ curve isn't, taking away anything. It's just adding to certain frequencies. A lot of times we use subtractive EQ. Like I'm using that more so on my bass versus on that preamp, on those preamps, both of those preamps, I have it EQ to where it is going to cut for you. That joint's going to cut. And you can really hear the characteristics of your bass, especially when you go to something like the Aguilar. Aguilar, you really it really makes that Aguilar AG preamp come alive with the color box. You know what I'm saying? Because it adds that nice firmness. This is the color box with the deep and bright on the Aguilar AG preamp. So even there, and it still got harmonics cutting through, and I literally have all the mids poured out of my bass. Me adding low mids back in, taking them out, still gonna cut. So it's like, it almost makes it so you can't really mess up your EQ curve on your bass itself, but you'll always be cutting through and making an impact, you know what I'm saying? And not just say impact like, oh, I need to, I'm laying the bottom, but nobody can hear the actual notes. This way, all your runs and everything. That's what it, a good scooped all the way out. My mids flat. You hear how forward that brought the bass sound? So when you want the bass to now, all I got to do when I want the bass to sit back in the mix is cut my mids, not all the way. You don't generally want to cut your mids all the way. If I want it to come a little bit more forward in the mix, you know, and that makes it a little bit easier when you're on stage because you don't have all this extra bass running around, you know, if it's a boomier venue. And if you do have a venue where there isn't enough bottom in the room for whatever reason, you can add that with the Negus EQ. So give you some options there. And even with the options, I still give you tone models that have the things like the deep and the bright on the AG preamp, or the bright switch on the Ampeg, the Couture, or the curves on the Gensler Magellan preamp. So, you know, I give you a good variety of these things in these preset packs. And that's the Gensler Magellan. With the Negus EQ on it. So that's gonna cut. That's gonna cut for you. And the crazy part is you're gonna be able to just download this stuff. You ain't gotta spend, even if you have the gear, you gotta spend the time to make it. Like, and it does take a while to make these tone models and everything and presets and get them all set up for you guys. So, you know, like I said, these ones will be out later this evening, while there's already an Aguilar version 2 Aguilar AG preamp on there. Mind you, I still have all my version 1 packs up there, of the Tone. It's 11 different preamp packs already available, including the Laney Digbeth, the Tisa Electronic BH500, the original one, all the preamps I've mentioned before, including and plus the Mark Bass Little Mark III, the Harkey TX600, you know, so all of that stuff is on there. Even there's going to be a Galley and Kruger amp on there as well at some point. But yeah, we got plenty of preset packs already available. We'll be coming out with a version 2 of the Eden WT-DI preamp pack, along with the combination pack with the color box. So we got a ton of preset packs coming out, guys. So if you want to keep up with that stuff, make sure you check out the Patreon, and make sure you sign up on the Patreon. And you can sign up for $1 or $5 a month, or if you just want to keep up with me, you can do that with the you can sign up there for free. You know what I'm saying? And when I release different things, they'll contact you about it through your email or something. But yeah, so, and I promise I don't be spamming you. You know what I'm saying? I put out products. I try to put out products very often, but it ain't every single day, that's for sure. So, you know, definitely check out my Patreon. And if you have things like a Future Impact V4 VIP, a Enzo X, the Zoom MS-70 Plus, MS-60B Plus, the Zoom B6, the C4 synth by Source Audio. I have preset packs for all those different pedals on the Patreon as well. And I'll be starting courses on there very soon. So, you know, this January is going to be a busy month for me, releasing courses and things on the Patreon. So make sure you check that out. And just so you know, a lot of the tips and tricks stuff is now going to go to the paid memberships on YouTube and Patreon. So if you haven't already, you know, you can sign up for $1, $2, $5, something like that. It's not a lot of money, but that'll give you basically access to, you know, starting January 1st, I'll be doing a lot more of the paid membership stuff. And I'll still be doing things like this, and ambient mornings, bass effects mornings, but I'll be going in depth, like giving you actual presets for the MSR bass synth. Because I can't create a preset pack for it, I'm just going to show you guys how to set it up properly and really deep dive into this pedal. So, and, you know, of course, we're going to be doing in-depth, like, sound creation with these various pedals, Electro Harmonics, Pog 3, you know, Enzo X, Mercury X, Future Impact V4 VIP, you know. We're going to do some in-depth creating videos on those and stuff. So make sure you check all that out. Stay tuned. And I will catch you guys later. Thank you. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and go over to the Patreon, like I said, because these preset packs will be released in a couple hours. So, you know, we're going to start rocking till the wheels come off. And if you want to buy a Tonex or Tonex 1 signature bass collection, if you can buy it through the link in the description, and it helps out the channel as well. I am an affiliate of IK Multimedia, so I definitely would want you guys to, you know, support to get the pedal, you know what I'm saying, through the link. It helps me out tremendously. So thank you. I'll catch